Hello, my name is Barry Borthistle, and this is my lovely wife Ruth, and we're here today to tell you a story. And the story is entitled The Story of the Yellow Pad. And the story goes like this. It began in November 1998 when I received a phone call from Michael Ellison. I was president of a large nutritional company in another state, and he called me down to Phoenix to share an idea with me. The idea was to create a new company that was a preventive company that would help people make better choices physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We know that today as the 10 Essentials. He made a very generous offer to me, and as co-founder and international president, but I didn't really want to do it. I went home to my other town where I was living, president of a large company, shared it with my wife Margaret, who was a recovering cancer patient, and she got very excited about this concept. She said, I wish I'd known about this idea years ago, honey. And so I accepted it. And I remember the day arriving here on February the 1st, 1999. Now I want to set the scene for you. All I had was a yellow pad. Here I was, international president and co-founder of a new company. I had a yellow pad. We had Michael's idea of the vision of what we know now as TriVita. That's how TriVita started. We didn't have a product. We didn't have a name. We didn't have an employee. And I was wondering why in the world I was here. I soon learned about how Michael Ellison thinks, and he expressed it to us later as the story goes on. And it's called the law of expression. And I want to read to you what I learned about Michael and how TriVita started, because that's so important that you understand this. He said, the principle that I want to talk with you about is the law of expression. You probably have never heard this term because that is my term, Michael's term, for an incredible power that I have seen in the lives of people throughout history. And he then goes on to explain, how do you tap into the law of expression? Number one, create a thought. Remember that. Number two, speak words that give life to your thoughts. And number three, align your actions with your thoughts. Recently, I received a very precious gift in the mail. These are the speeches of Sir Winston Churchill given to me by a great friend of mine, Mr. Peter Daniels from Adelaide, Australia. Peter Daniels is the head of the World Entrepreneurial School, has spoken around the world. Norman Vincent Peale called him the best speaker in the world. And in here, listening to Winston Churchill, I think he knew a little bit about the law of expression because of what he did with the war, and we know all the stories. Very, very powerful, powerful, powerful thought. And so July 1999, on the yellow pad, as the story continues, we had about 130 people out. The B12 was introduced. We have now sold over about 11 million boxes around North America. The first big challenge for me came when my wife Margaret passed away on May 29th, 2000 from cancer. Big day in my life, obviously. I wanted to resign from TriVita. In fact, I tried to, but Michael, because of the law of expression, vision, wouldn't let me, and we worked out it, and I stayed with the company, and I'm very, very glad that I did. Which again shows the importance of a power of a vision and discovering your life purposes. Well, as my yellow pad story continues, 11 years later is where we find ourselves today. 1999, we had one call center person. Today, we probably have 80 or 90. We have infomercials on television. We have about 2.5 million customers. We're members of the North American Better Business Bureau. We're members of the Direct Selling Association. Many of our products are clinically researched. Our products do not cure anything or heal anything. We're in the preventive health business. We have incredible, incredible customer support tools. As my wife will show you, there we have the catalog. There we have the Vita Journal, which are mailed to our consumers every single month. We have the Secret Killer and the CDs that go with us on our new product, Nopalea. The company provides just absolutely incredible tools. We have a very, very unique business model. I here again believe that we are the first company in the world to successfully separate people that just want to buy the products and people that want to build the business. We have customers. Those that want to build the business are called associate members. About 85 to 90% of our business in the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars are done to consumers. Very, very unique. Well, how do we get our consumers? Well, the Yellow Pad story explains it this way. Number one, you can purchase it from the company through our media acquisition program, which is very, very powerful. The other way is to get them yourself. Now, my lovely wife, Ruth, here has her own business. She's doubled it in the last 3 or 4 months. And I want her to share with you a story how she got her last customer, and she has got many this way. Honey, share.
Well, I love talking about Trivita with everyone everywhere. And it's easy to engage in a conversation and lead into health quite quickly. Last week, picking raspberries, I was talking to the farmer, and he was telling me about a health issue that his wife was having. And I was able to listen and then talk to him a little bit about our new Nopalea product, which his eyes lit up and he was interested in what this might do for her. And I explained about our loading phase and was able to offer them a gift of health, to actually try the product. And that, which is something we do a lot with our, prospective customers. So it was a great, encounter for me.
The power of this, if you're watching the video for the first time and have never heard of Trivita, the power of the customer base driven company is very powerful, because what's happening, folks, is that if you decide to build a business with Trivita, you are going to be building equity in your business. Unlike any other company in the world, no one else does this. You're building equity because of your strong customer base. It's like having a retail store without the storefront, without the rent, without staff salaries, without all the costs of doing business, without having to go there every day. Absolutely incredible opportunity with the business model that we have now produced. Well, in 2006, I resigned as the international president. The reason that I resigned was that I've been in this industry for about 35 years. I've traveled 200,000 miles a year for the last 25, 30 years. And quite frankly, I was just getting tired of it. Well, I saw Michael's idea of the law of expression go back into his mind immediately. I didn't know it at the time. Michael and I made the arrangements financially when I left the company, and I left in very good terms and very happy. About 2 months later, I get the agreement in the mail, and typical Michael, every T was crossed, every I was dotted. But Michael put one more phrase in there, which I think comes from the law of expression. He said in there, and we had not discussed this, something like this: it is Ellison's desire that Borthistle remain with the company and build a Trivita business. And I thought, well, why not? I co-founded the company. I was the president for 7 years. Why not do it? And man, it's the best decision that I've ever made. And so I began building my business, became a presidential director in the next 2 years. So I've been on the corporate side and the field side. So I've seen both sides of the picture, and it's probably, as I said, one of the best decisions that I have ever made. Here we are, 2011. No, 2010. I'm getting so excited because we're going international. We're going to Australia. The company has talked about going to places like Hong Kong and Korea and Japan and Singapore and Taiwan. Very, very exciting. The company has made a contract with a consultant by the name of Mr. Greg Newell, who was the former Assistant Secretary of State in Ronald Reagan's government, former U.S. ambassador to Sweden, youngest ambassador in the history of the United States since Thomas Jefferson. With his political connections, Michael and the company are no limit on the amount of money that has to be spent to do everything right. So we are sitting on an absolute incredible opportunity. And so if you have viewed this video and are interested, we'd love to hear from you. No pressure. We're not going to pressure you to sign anything, but we'd like to give you more information when you've viewed it all, and to join our team as we help take Trivita around the world, because the world needs a lot of wealth and the world needs a lot of health. And that's what TriVita is all about. We all know that we are going through incredible changing times. People are out of work, and there's a lot of misunderstanding what's happening. We don't have all the answers in TriVita, but we really want to help you if we can. One of my favorite authors, John C. Maxwell, and many of you know him, I have read most of his books. This is my favorite. And the reason it's my favorite is that it's really 3 books in one. Book 1 is The Winning Attitude. Very important. Number 2, Developing the Leaders Around You. We want to help you do that. And number 3, Becoming a Person of Influence. We want to help you do that. And a quotation that means a lot to me from a man that I highly respect, Lou Holtz, former Notre Dame football coach. And Lou said this: 1, ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it. Thank you for viewing. God bless.